Several homes now sit in ruins. Roofs are torn open. Walls are blackened by fire. Household items are scattered on bare ground like they were thrown away in anger. This is what remains of Okporojo Community in Oso Edda, Edda Local Government Area of Ebonyi State, after a deadly attack that has left the people shaking, grieving, and afraid. Now let us look at this clearly. This was not just another report of violence. This was a night that changed everything for a peaceful farming community known for one thing over the years: rice production. Rice is not just food here. It is livelihood, it is identity, it is survival. But in one night, blood replaced harvest and fear replaced hope. Residents say the attack happened on Thursday. The gunmen came suddenly. They came prepared. They came with weapons that terrified even the bravest among the villagers. By morning, at least 5 people had been beheaded. Their heads were taken away. Several others were abducted. Families woke up to empty rooms, unanswered phone calls, and silence where loved ones should have been.
Imagine sleeping in your home, surrounded by familiar sounds of night insects and distant dogs barking, only to be jolted awake by gunshots and screaming. Imagine grabbing your children in the dark, not knowing where to run, not knowing who will survive till morning. That was the reality in Okporojo. As daylight broke, residents stepped out slowly, some barefoot, some in tears, all in shock. They looked at what was left of their homes: burnt roofs, broken doors, and bloodstains on the ground. Many could not speak. Some simply sat down, staring into space. Now, at this point, one story stood out: the story of Nachi Ugu, a father of 2. Standing near the remains of his home, his voice shaking, Nachi tried to explain what happened that night. He spoke in broken sentences, switching between fear, confusion, and pain. He said the attackers stormed the village from far away. He ran with his wife when they appeared. Guns were pointed at him. He did not even understand what was happening until everything turned into chaos. "I was running with my wife. They came with guns. They entered my house. They destroyed everything," he said. Then came the part that broke even the strongest hearts. When asked about his children, he explained that one survived, but his first son did not. "They killed him. They carried his head," Nachi said quietly. He pointed to the ground where blood had dried. That blood was once his son's life.
Many people leave before evening and return only when the sun rises. Others refuse to come back at all. One resident, speaking on behalf of the community, made a heartfelt appeal. "You know, staying here in the night is a very big threat. Only a few people will be here. The rest will go out," he said. He begged the government to deploy security operatives permanently to the area. "If at least one police officer or any other force can stay with us, it will help," he said. Then he added something chilling. "When these people come, they wear camouflage army uniforms. And when you see the type of guns they carry, it is very alarming. This raises an important question. How do ordinary villagers distinguish between real security operatives and criminals in disguise? And how safe can communities feel when attackers look like protectors?"
From this point, we need to understand the security response. Following the attack, the Ebonyi State Police Command swung into action. The Commissioner of Police, Enugu State Police Command, Antonia Adaku Uche Anya, arrived in Okporojo for an on-the-spot assessment. Security vehicles drove into the battered community. Officers moved around, taking notes, listening to residents, and inspecting damaged homes. For many villagers, this was the first moment of slight relief since the attack. Standing before the people, Commissioner Antonia Adaku Uche Anya spoke firmly but with empathy. She assured them that the perpetrators would not escape justice. "I will not relent until the perpetrators are brought to book," she said. She explained that she came not just as a police officer, but to condole with the community and reassure them that they were not alone. She also confirmed that some arrests had already been made in connection with the attack. That announcement brought a mix of emotions: relief because action was being taken, fear because the attackers were still out there, hope because justice might still come.
Now, let us look at the role of local government. The chairman of Edda Local Government Area, Chima Ikum, also addressed the people. He spoke on the importance of protecting lives and property, and the urgent need for security presence in the community. Having your men on ground will go a long way in reassuring our people, he said. People have left out of fear, but when there is a security presence, they will come back and continue living on their God-given land. This statement reflects a deeper issue: displacement. When people are chased away by violence, land becomes empty, farms become abandoned, and communities slowly die. Security is not just about arresting criminals, it is about giving people confidence to live. But now, let's look at the political response, and this is where things took a dramatic turn. Ebonyi State Governor Francis Nwifuru did not treat the incident lightly. He condemned the attack strongly, describing it as barbaric, but he went beyond words.
During an on-the-spot assessment visit to Okporojo, the governor arrived visibly angry. Standing before residents, community leaders, security agencies, and government officials, he expressed deep disappointment. He said he never expected such a level of brutality to occur in Ebonyi State. Then he made sweeping decisions. The governor dismissed all government appointees from Amasiri community in Afikpo Local Government Area with immediate effect. He dissolved the Community Development Union leadership. He removed all village heads. He even dethroned the traditional ruler of the community, withdrawing his certificate. So, on this note, the governor said, the Development Union Executive and all villages in Amasiri communities are hereby dissolved. He did not stop there. All government appointees from Amasiri, from the management committee down to the commissioner, are hereby sacked, he added. The governor made it clear that government will do more and show everyone why it is government.
Now, let us pause and ask a question. Why such drastic action? Unconfirmed sources allege that the attack on Okporojo Community may have stemmed from a long-standing boundary dispute with a neighboring community. If true, this brings up a painful reality. Unresolved local disputes can grow into deadly conflicts when ignored for too long. Boundary issues, land ownership disagreements, and communal rivalry are not new in many parts of the country. But when they are left unmanaged, they become fertile ground for violence, manipulation, and criminal infiltration. Another question for readers: how many communities around us are sitting on unresolved disputes right now? The governor assured the affected people that the state government would decisively deal with those responsible. He stressed that the lives lost would not be in vain. But here's the reality on the ground. Justice takes time, while grief is immediate. Families are still burying their dead. Others are still searching for missing loved ones. Children are still afraid of the night. Farmers are still unsure whether to return to their fields.
From this point, we need to understand the bigger lesson. This attack is not just about Okporojo. It is about rural security. It is about how easily armed groups can invade communities. It is about how fear spreads faster than gunfire. It is about the need for early conflict resolution, intelligence sharing, and community vigilance. Public safety is a shared responsibility. Government must provide security. Security agencies must act swiftly and transparently. Traditional rulers must speak up early. Community leaders must discourage violence. And citizens must report suspicious movements before it is too late. Now let us ask one final question. What can be done to prevent the next Okporojo? Awareness is key. Communities must remain alert. Strange movements should never be ignored. Cooperation with security agencies must be constant, not occasional. Dialogue must replace silence when disputes arise. As the sun sets again over Okporojo, the road leading into the community is quieter than before. Burnt houses stand as reminders. Empty farms whisper stories of interrupted lives. But among the ruins, there is also resilience. People are calling for peace. They are calling for protection. They are calling for justice. And as a society, we must listen, not just with our ears, but with action. Because no community should ever have to wake up to blood where rice once grew.